Everyone, it's Jacqueline with JW Van Minimal in the raw. I just dropped my grandson off at work and I decided actually to come. Let me see if I can get better lighting here because I'm underneath a shelter. I'm actually in a community garden and it is so beautiful. Now, I have to say, I have nothing to do with the fact that this garden is so beautiful and successful, but I did have a hand in it years ago when the creator and founder of the organization that created this garden, I was part of a environmental group called Milwaukee Urban Gardens, and we helped sort of facilitate the activity that started this particular garden. And that was probably a good 7 years, 8 years ago. And I'm just getting back here. I haven't been here in a good 5 years. I did stop by here when the a woman was just starting to create everything in the garden, and oh my god, it's so beautiful. And these are the things that I crave for as an individual, and I think that people who are especially urban dwellers need to get back to. So I came to the garden and I was just shocked because it is huge. When I first was introduced to this place, I think it was just not like a third of abandoned city property, I think it was. And that's when the organization I was with, I was the board member. So the organization that I was with, that's when we decided that we would come over. I think it is a land trust, the company I was, the agency I was with, and the other agency who started this is also a land trust. So you're going to get some lighting issues, variations as I walk through the garden. I'm going to come back here because I think it's important for me to interview the founder. She just retired. She's a younger, she's in her 50s or whatever, but she just retired from the organization. She founded it. She's been working hard for years on getting people interested in gardening again, and she just did a wonderful job. So I thought I'd come out and give you guys a quick little preview of what it's looking like after all these years. Is unbelievable. So, and they also work with young people. So that was, hi. Good morning. So that's part of the program that was started, like to work in urban communities with young people who are only used to the urban community. Let me see if I can get my lighting right here. Who are only used to the urban community and going to the grocery store and buying their food and probably not even thinking about vegetables. I did a workshop yesterday, and it's a simulation of it's mostly young people and how you spend your money. It was such a cool, one day I'll record that, but so the young people, now the group I had yesterday were older teens. These were, high school 15 to 17-year-olds, and I had a couple of young ones in there, but most of the time when I do this, it's usually middle school youngsters. But I had earlier in the week, I had middle and high school youngsters, and then yesterday I had all high school youngsters. And when you're buying food and trying to compare, like save your money and stuff like that, it asks you what kind of food you're going to get for like a few weeks. And every time, and I told them I was going to let them know what the young people did, every time they never picked vegetables. That was not one of the staples that the young people picked as one of the things they would buy so that they can conserve their food intake. And it's just very interesting. So anyway, I was out here and it was so gorgeous. And this place is massive. I mean, like I said, it is like 3 or 4 times bigger than when I first came to the garden. It was no fruit trees, no sunflower seed plants or none of that in this garden. It was just raw land that I think the city may have given the organization. And then the group that I was with, we were the land trust, and I think we did something, we negotiated something with the city. I don't remember exactly, but I mean, it goes way back here. They have it's not a greenhouse. What is this? Either way, I mean, it's a working process. Like, they are still working it out, but the whole point that they have all of this stuff. The other thing that's cool about this organization is they help people build raised beds in their backyard. So the lady who started it, who I said just retired, I'm going to catch up with her. She and I will do coffee or lunch. And then I'm going to have her bring me here. And I'm going to do an interview with her and get her thoughts behind it, because she was a straight up go-getter to make this happen. And it was always in her mind. And she always had the vision of making this happen. And she did it. And it was because it was in her mind and the vision. But I don't want to put thoughts in my head about what her head was thinking. I actually am going to ask her what it was that made her do this. This is a big undertaking, you guys. Like, this is in a neighborhood that was transitioning downward. And now it's moving. It's steady. It's getting stabilized and it's getting better. But it's just a place where nobody would put the energy into. But this woman did. And it's really cool. So I'm involved with another garden. I actually will maybe do a couple of, I'll do this garden and then I'll do the other garden, and talk to the woman who started that garden as well. And we'll get a take of what I would prefer my life to be like, why I want to do van life and get away from certain things, and be able to just get back to nature and people. And I love technology to some extent. I like the communication aspect of it, like you can talk to a lot of people at once, but as far as it taking over our lives and having us become incomplete as human beings, that is something that the reason I personally would do van life, and to just explore those things with people. And then this whole aspect of nature and natural lives and food and things like that. So one of the gardeners here, I was just chatting with her, and you know I can't turn my phone around, so I get all these weird, but I want to show you this potato that she grew. She pulled out of the garden while I was talking to her, and I can't tell, anything about how it smelled, but you saw the soil on there. Look at that. So I have actually, I was a big potato eater, like all the time. Potatoes, potatoes. I do eat sweet potatoes on occasion when I go to the store. But for the past, I don't know, 6 or 8 months, when I bought potatoes at the store, I would probably cook them, but most of the time they would spoil or go to, when they start seething or whatever you do. So I have not been buying potatoes for a long time, and which is weird for me because, again, I'm a potato eater. But this gardener pulled some potatoes out of her garden, and she said that she had bought some potatoes from our local, like, outpost. It's like a mini Whole Foods. They were there before Whole Foods, but it's like that. It's an organic type store. And they bought some potatoes, and they were just stemming up, and she took them and she planted them. I forgot how long ago, but that's what she got out of her garden. And she had a nice hefty bag full, and she was still pulling them out, and she shared some with me. So I'm gonna taste them because I haven't had potatoes in a long time, so I'm gonna enjoy those. So I wanted to make sure I brought you guys this information. Again, I'm going to get with the founder of the garden and talk to her about some of the things she's done to make this happen, and just even her mindset of just being focused on this and getting it done, and being satisfied with, okay, I'm done, I'm walking away, left it in good hands, so my next thing that I'm doing is this or that. So she hasn't gone anywhere, but just the fact that she retired and turned it over. So that's where we are. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe especially, and share my videos. I am a I'm not a pretentious individual, so you won't see me dolled up. I mean, every once in a while I might wear something, but this is me. So, in thought and deed, this is me. So, uh, that's who I am, Jacqueline J.W. Van Minimal. Thank you for joining me. I sincerely appreciate you, and I will see you on the other side.